Guys, let's do the thing. Stouts, Kings Canyon. Going to, I don't think they're necessarily the play, but if you're a Stouts player, you probably want to go ahead and stick with them at least through the tour. When the course comes out, maybe make this one of your Cosmos learning courses. There's at least 3, 4, 5. There's like probably 5 holes where Cosmos get a bit of an edge. Hole 1, while you're playing your Stouts, I would say go ahead and lay back for shot points unless you get an extremely short look. I'm not sure how close we can end up to that green. Kind of fun that it's not just a flat green on hole 1. That's fairly uncommon in the Golden Tee world. Hole 2, we're going to get right into the action with a drivable par 4 eagle opportunity. See at the top there's a bit of a bush hiding the direct approach to the green, so I opted for a high tee here. With the front pin like that, I would like to play a shot medium teed so I can back it up, back it in kind of thing. Didn't really have that option here that I knew of. Like I said, I was kind of erring on the side of safety. Only got one time to play this course and do this walkthrough, which is why we're doing this alternative style where I talk over the playthrough instead of talking during the playthrough. Because sometimes these videos need more than one take. This is take 10 for this one, by the way. Had some audio issues. Little tiered par 3. Do Stouts like Stouts are supposed to be done. Go at that pin. I picked up a couple of shot points there. Makes a player happy. Hole 4. Drivable par 5. I'm not exactly sure what the Stout shot is here. Hopefully, with the one-off playthroughs everybody had, some intrepid Stout player somewhere found a better path than this one. I tried to do the normal Cosmos thing, which is to play it up and over that hill, guarding the green. But even with this high 3-wood backspin, I slammed, it just doesn't have the mustard. Doesn't have the mustard to get there. So we'll work on that. If you look in the companion video, you can see that there are potentially routes to the green that don't involve the hill. So maybe you can find something out there. Compare that shot to this one, seeing how high the 3-wood got up. Drivable par 4 here, another eagle opportunity. We've got a very left tee box and a left pin, so those trees are in play. I'm going for a high 6-wood full. Okay. Okay. Nice. I like that. Put that one in the memory banks, guys. You can borrow that if you want. Six, a par 5. Take a look at that tee box. It looks like it could tee up anywhere in that kind of U shape. So this is maybe one of the longest looks, if I'm reading that correctly. Either way, we're just going to hit our 180. End up in the rough. I'm not mad about that. For that pin, this lets me use backspin in that limited amount of space that we've got to try to be aggressive, although I hit a very bad line. Anyway, clean up, take an eagle. Move on, guys. There's more holes to play. There's more fun to be had. Hole 7. Oh, this is kind of a beast. I do recommend you have like a high lofted middle iron, like a 150-yard 7-iron or a 7 hybrid, and you can go over the top there. I tried something a little experimental with this high 5-iron. Now, it looks to me as though the medium 5-iron would have been just fine, and I potentially could have played a line further out to make that work. So I'm not giving up on that approach. I do want to call out, if you look around the green, if you're short, you're wet. If you're long, you're in fairly level sand. You'll have a pretty reasonable eagle recovery chip if you miss long. So keep that in mind while you're trying to get a feel for that hole. Hole 8, what do we get? This masterpiece right here. Look at this green. We got kind of a friendly pin location. Man, there's lots of weird spots that pin could end up. I wonder how this is going to play out as we get to see more looks. Kind of interesting. We are at the turn. We got a, wait for it, par 5. Another one of these holes where you get a big plateau right in front of you. I've been on top of several plateaus, and it's sand up there. Most of the dark surface that you see around this course is sand, and it's the new old sand, the stuff that's not super sticky and moist. So you can bounce off of it. I went for the C3 style shot to get to the fairway, but sometimes you'll be able to bomb it directly over that plateau in the center, or may even play it from up on top of that if you want to. Now you know how to play half of Kings Canyon. All right, sometimes drivable par 4. We got a very friendly look here. Take a look at that tee box. It makes a different shape. Looks like we're closer to the green but further away. We could be potentially closer, and you can see the left side of that tee box. You can be very far away. This hole does shut down for Cosmos sometimes too if you get wind in the face. So I feel like it's almost a wash. It's definitely edge Cosmos, but like I said, Cosmos can be shut down too. Drivable par 4, big plateau. Probably going to opt for a high tee, high numbered wood, 8 wood, 6 wood, 7 wood, 9 wood. I don't know. It's sand on top. You'll get to see that in play. I'm going to skip it off the top of that. Bink! There we go. And continue on right by the cup. Nothing wrong with that. Flat green. You don't really have to worry about that as far as like landing in the wrong place and trickling off. Pretty much just going to stay wherever it lands. Then we move on to hole 12. You can see from this setup, this is a little bit of a heartbreaker. This is very easily drivable for Cosmos, and I feel like we're going to have to take a chip. I've played off of one of these bridges, and it's got the newer bridge dynamic where you get basically random bounces. It might kick backwards, it might go through a plank, it might kick left, right. I don't like the idea of trying to bounce on from there. You need several magnitudes of luck. Set up my chip pretty good. Didn't have any of the pylons in my path, and brought that flop chipper wedge on home. Shot of the year. Love me a flop chip wedge. Didn't lose that stroke I should have lost to the Cosmos. Big old par 3. Quick little Easter egg hunt. Or something. I don't know what I was looking at there. Should have looked at the cup, because I get nowhere near it. Look at that monstrosity. That's just embarrassing. Keep on cooking. We got kind of an interesting pin here with the pin way deep and down on the right side of the green. It almost takes the trees out of play. I should be able to hit a high 5 wood just straight at that. But nope, not this guy. I got to get weird with it. Go straight to setting up a full. Don't even think about it. Don't even look at the straight line. Psh. Freaking weirdo. Okay. Well, actually, it's kind of a big green. I guess when you're standing in front of it in the front of the machine, it looks different than me trying to do this voiceover on this tiny screen. I thought I was aiming for a postage stamp. Nope. The green is a massive. All right. I took one for the team here, guys. I did this for science. Clearly, we should be hitting like a low T 10-5 through here. Maybe even a medium T 8-5 driver. But because they slightly tucked that pen, I had to see if I could find something to be a little bit more aggressive. So I go for high 5 wood, C 2.5 kind of shot, C 2.25. Doesn't even come close to getting up. Maybe there's a 180 shot, but anytime you can use a 180, you're probably just better going through the gap anyway. I'm so mad at myself for doing that. I had this lovely approach shot. enough about me. We'll talk about the course. That's one of the 3 or 4 like challenging par 4s on this course you're going to have to try to master in some way. On that one with a tuck pin, maybe you just go ahead and accept your fate and take a longer putt. This is another Stouts Heartbreaker. This is very drivable for Cosmos in this look. We see we got the front tee box. No wind in the face. I'm going to go ahead and hit it up close to give you an idea of what kind of shot you could expect from here. With that pin, it's about 130 yards still, so we're not going to be able to get a chip very often from the front of the fairway. You're probably better off laying back, and instead of taking that full left 9, you know, from further back in the fairway, it's going to be more upslope and a gentler left break, which may make aggression towards the pin a little bit more easy, a little bit easier. But I did straighten out the wind, so I would probably play that the same way, even after that that breakdown there. Here we are on the home stretch. We get a standard steeply sloped par 3 for our 17th hole. This is where we're Stout players. We don't care what's going on here. We're not going to go long in the water. We're just going to try to attack the pin. That's where Stouts, that's their bread and butter, right? Did I already say that? All right. Finishing hole 18, a drivable par 5. Potentially, I could have tried a high TC3 style driver to get to the sand by the green, but I really want to investigate this island for you guys, which I believe is a good play. Unfortunately, in my one chance to make this video for you, I did not prove that in any way, shape, or form. What I did was show you how to go long. But I've played off of that island. I pulled out off of that island. It's fine. We got a little bonus from this water drop. You can see that if needed, you could just play the front of the fairway. I'm going to hit like a C3 style 5-wood, which means that's coming as low as a 5-wood possibly can. It still got over those trees. So the front of the fairway is potentially a play. If you're the further left tee box, then you can play straight down the fairway and you can get a pretty comfortable shot into the green. So you get a lot of options. Do check if you can drive it, because I'm pretty sure Stouts can still get up there on some looks, but you are kind of giving some back to Cosmos there. Anyway, happy banging.